Attempt number 2. This time we have Minecraft on the screen. Thank you for notifying my lovely people of the Twitch chat over on the twitch.tv/thexisuma where these live streams happen live, and yes, things don't always go to plan. It would appear that we have fixed the black screen and now Minecraft should be visible. Fantastic. Alright, so I was explaining what we're going to do today, which is working on the ribcage. Now I'm going to start off just by collecting a bit of stone as people tune in. We actually need to go and do something very similar to what we did in a previous stream. We might have a moment of deja vu later on. Admirari, thank you ever so much for 6 months of support. That is incredible. Saying half a year must be time travel because I'm certain it wasn't just yesterday it started. It is time travel. We are all time travelers, traveling in the same direction. Oh, so profound. Oh, not really. Everyone excited for tomorrow, says Spike Blur. I mean, I'm always excited for a new day, but is there any particular reason tomorrow is exciting? Who knows? Who knows? It's a big world. There's lots of things happening in it all the time, right? I mean, tomorrow, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm going to go for a cycle, and then I've got a load of garden work to do. So I'm just going to end up having a real busy, active day, and then I'm going to take Sunday off again. Got my Hermitcraft episode finished today, so I'm kind of on top of things, which is cool. Spike says, don't know if I'm allowed to mention on this stream. Oh, Spike, you have got me so excited for tomorrow. Oh, God, what is this thing that we should be excited for that you're not allowed to talk about? Goodness me. I mean, I did not expect that. Honestly, I was expecting something like, so-and-so on TV starts tomorrow, and it would probably be something that I know nothing about. And I'll be like, okay. But no, God, you shouldn't talk about it on the stream. Dang. Well, I'm super pumped. Tomorrow it's going to be like, whoa, maybe that's the thing Spike can't talk about. Dang. Could be anything. I've got to keep my eyes peeled tomorrow. Oof. Jeez. Cole Hokobea, thank you ever so much for 7 months of your support. 7 months of appreciation from me to you. Ooh, garden, what are you going to put in it, says Santa of Scarva. Oh no, not that kind of gardening. The kind of gardening where you cut the hedges and you cut the grass and you wish that it never actually grew. I mean, I love nature, don't get me wrong, but maintaining a garden, I don't ever utilize it, so it's just a hassle. But I do enjoy actually getting out and doing some physical labor, so yeah, there's that to be thankful for when it comes to maintaining the garden. But yeah, it's literally just, you know, mowing the lawn and cutting down the hedge. Because it needs to be done. Those things grow. You know? I'm going to murder me some plants. Oh! X, you just took it there, didn't you? You made it all dark. Yo, I thought gardening was peaceful. Gardening is murder. Yeah. Oh, like those like those meat is murder t-shirts. I need like a gardening is murder shirt. You know? That's what I need. Those plants, what did they ever do to you, eh? Convert carbon into oxygen so you could breathe. Photosynthesis? Oh, you can do that, can you? Yeah, just converting the old sun's rays into oxygen or something? I don't know. It was a long time ago that I was at school and learning about that kind of stuff. Isn't the Xisumaverse UHC tomorrow, says Curls? Yep, it's at 7 PM UTC. If I recall correctly, out off the top of my head, says Forgil. Well, would you know it? There is something to look forward to tomorrow. It's the Xisumaverse UHC. Oh! 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 The zoom. Spike, were you thinking we weren't allowed to talk about the UHC? Spike says, Xisuma, do you have any plans to play Vault Hunters or maybe join a Vault Hunters server or make one? I do not. I really was interested in Vault Hunters. That actually kind of got me back into modded. I played the Stoneblock? Yeah, Stoneblock's the one. World for quite a long time. And I really, really enjoyed it. I had a blast playing that mod pack. And I kind of knew once this season of Hermitcraft started up, that would probably be the end of it. Which it was. And I sort of don't really have a desire to play modded again at the moment, but I kind of know if I do again, I'll probably enjoy it again. You might see some variety streams from me coming your way. Depends on how well I do with the gardening stuff tomorrow. I may stream or may take the evening off to relax, I don't know. I'll figure it out on the day. We got Joe Dragon here for 26 months. Hello, hope things are going well. You eating well? Been looking a bit bony lately. Oh, with the puns. I have been eating well, actually. I've been eating more than usual. I've been having like 3 meals a day and a protein shake and a snack at the end as well. And I gotta say, I kind of like my 2 meals a day thing. Like, it's like a lot of extra food to digest. So I've been feeling bloated a lot, and it's more cooking and hassle. I mean, I love food, don't get me wrong, but I've been working on not getting too obsessed with eating. Right, well, judging by how I talk about it on my streams, you might think the opposite, but, you know, I eat well. Thing is, eating, you know, 3.5 meals a day, now it's just like, my body sort of is adapting to it, I guess, you could say. Oh, that's where I put my sugarcane. Okay, I did thought I put it over here somewhere, and then I couldn't find it, and I was like, didn't I do that? You need someone to cook for you. Hiring a good curry chef would be amazing. Yeah, you know, I would love to hire a chef in my dreams. Yeah, having someone wait hand and foot and cook for you, God, I think we'd all want that. Be a real time saver, wouldn't it? But I don't know. I do like cooking my own food, you know? 2 a day. 2 meals a day, 2 rounds of cooking, that's good. But the third one, it's just like, gets a bit much. And after my third meal, I tend to feel pretty bloated at that point. Right, Lucaro1357, 42 months, and Colmic06 here with some cheers and biddies saying just showing some love to all my favourite hermits. Thank you for your insights into the latest Mojang has to offer. Thank you, my dude. I thought about what I wrote and recorded for that video. You know, like, with, let's say, some intent. Like, I can't say I spent forever on it, because I didn't. But I guess leading up to writing, I thought about it a lot. So, yeah, I guess my thoughts and opinions were relatively well shaped on that topic. I don't think I've seen so many agreeing opinions on the same video before. Just so much positivity. Even when people were like slightly disagreeing with me on this point or that point, it was like most people were like, yeah, like we agree with you here. Which is really cool to see, because I thought about it a lot, and I felt like I kind of understood what had gone wrong. Because the wild update is like pretty darn fantastic. It's just the way it's been rolled out that's been a bit of a problem more than anything. The communication, not the content itself. Although some people, I think people tend to frame it like the content is the problem, and I don't think the content is. It's how the communication around the update has been handled, and yeah, you know, if someone at Mojang or Microsoft sees that, I hope they understand that it's like trying to be helpful and positive. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat everything. They, I think saying, what was it they said? You know, showing off concept art isn't a promise for content. It's like, don't say that. I mean, yeah, it might not be a promise, right? But like, that's just not the way to communicate with your audience. That just kind of puts the blame on them when it's worded like that. So, anyway. Yeah, I would like to see them, honestly. I think, let's not have a big... I don't want to see any more of this Minecraft... Or sorry, what are they calling it now? Minecraft Live, mob votes, and creating a big spectacle around the update. It feels to me like the team kind of needs time to get ahead. You know, just plan the next update the way they want to do it, and then knock it out of the park with something cool when they're ready. You know? Because I believe they can do it. But it's just this treadmill that they're on of like, oh, we're going to do mob votes, oh, we're going to do these live events, and then, you know, you see something like the Caves and Cliffs update turns out to take way longer than they thought. I got a hot cup of tea here, and I think it's about time I started drinking it, you know? So let's do that. Voodoo Poo Poo says you need a command to let people know, is Hermitcraft still on 1.18? Dude, Hermitcraft isn't on 1.18. We updated to 1.20. What? Huh? Huh? What? What? Huh? What? Huh? 20? What? Huh? I don't know. We had another one. Herminator, 39 months. Thank you so much, my dude. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Huh? What? Huh? What? What? Oh, jeez. 1.20, the World Update Part 2. Yeah, that one. That one. Anyway, I also absolutely loved sitting down and writing a script for a Minecraft video. God, I've like wanted to do that for absolutely ages. And on occasion I've tried to like find other people, like build a team. And it's just so tricky to like do something like that. But when you can do it yourself, because you know exactly what you want, it just comes together so well. Why am I putting these things in here? This makes no sense. I've got all this bulk storage for this stuff. We should start using it. So speaking of storage, oh, what a segue. What a, you know I'm a professional. Because this is an amazing segue. So, speaking on storage, we're going to quit. And go into this world. So, we did this on stream a while back. We went into a world made by Kaz of Xisuma Games, who I think, yeah, there you go, URL Xisuma Games, search for it on the tubes if you want to get this world yourself, get your hands on it. So this is the new updated 1.18, 1.19 version of what we were going to build, and I really need to, like, just at this point right now, get this done. It's been a bit daunting, and so, you know, my next episode, not the one you're going to see on Monday. Let's turn this on for a second. We're going to build this. So now what we need to do is go in here. No, that's not right, is it? Normal? Yep. Browser. New selection. Call it storage 1.19. So yeah, I think I just need to lower one of those. Right. So it's got the glass. Yep. That will capture everything down there. This is very helpful having the glass blocks. Very considerate. And then over here it's got end rods on. Kind of looks like... not actually the corner, is it? Maybe some miscalculations were had. Ah! I didn't mean to break it! Okay, we're good. So then we stand over here. We go back into there. Click on that. Click on this. There we go. Move to player. And the whole thing should now be inside of a schematic for us. Cool. I like this looks super cool here. I just want to kind of create my own thing. I think what I'll probably end up doing is maybe just rebuilding this with a different theme. Like, we would put bone blocks in some spots. Maybe some quartz. I don't know. Like, I don't want to keep the same color scheme. I want to inject a little creativity, I guess. But we might as well sort of keep the concept a little bit. So it'll look different when we employ it. Why does that break my brain? Is that an item frame inside of item frame and it's invisible? Okay, that's why. Right, so you've got like reminders or something over here. I need to watch the videos again and get to grips with it. So the actual filtering of stuff looks kind of smaller over here. It will be these chests. There you go. Chest filler. Speaking of chess, been doing some tutorials, playing some games, beating some of the harder computers, okay? God, when I play chess, I get so engrossed with it. And like, I'm a total noob, I don't even know what I'm doing. You know, but I can see why people get obsessed with this game. Rick Rowe, thank you ever so much for resubscribing for 4 months. Greatly appreciated, my dude. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I have some ambitions to make my own games. I've talked about this in the past, and God, playing chess and the depth of the strategy and stuff really makes me want to like tinker around and do something on my own. Did we save this schematic? Let's have a look. And again, you know, I always waffle about this stuff on stream. The thing is, my time is just always consumed. So let's configure. No, let's save the schematic. There we go. Storage 1.19. So now that we head back onto the server, Hermitcraft the board game says it's Scowl. You know, a Hermitcraft game, I don't know what that would be. I'll tell you what it won't be. It won't exist. Because it's hard for us to extend the Hermitcraft thing beyond the server, beyond what it already is, because, you know, we all respect one another, and to get 28 people on the same page about something is difficult, you know? And so something like a Hermitcraft game would probably not actually happen. Right, so we're going to go into here. What are we doing? We want that one off for now. Need to load a schematic, and it needs to be storage 1.19. Right, we're currently in all below. Right, and I forget that this thing is like way up in the sky. I'm inside a mountain right now, essentially. So, it looks to me like it didn't... Whatever it did, it didn't put me at the... Okay, we're going to have to try some things. So, loaded it. Move it to the player. You know, in theory, I should see something around here, right? Right, now I'm actually starting to see whatever it is. Okay. I think it needs one more rotation. Let's then move it to the player if I stand in this corner. Might help to actually disable Skull for a moment. Oh yeah, do that. That's looking way more... Yeah, that's the way we want it. So, when it comes to alignment, remember it can't be perfect. And I don't really care, you know. I tell you what I might do. This thing is an even width, right? But I could probably quite easily just change a few blocks and make it feel like it's 3 wide. So we'll move this over by 1 block. Now, how close do I want to move it to me? I don't know. I might push it back in that direction a little bit more. But as you can see, the room is good. This thing must be very similar size to what we had before. Gonna have to push it back a little further in this direction. There's all that water at the top to deal with. Yeah, so it's aligned up nicely like that. And then where we used to have a bunch of redstone down there, we no longer need that. That's fine. And then this would create like a step down. So I think based on the size of the room, I probably want to move this up 1 block. Let's go ahead and do that. And that will probably be it then. We're now level with the chests at the bottom. And if I want to, I could move it back a little further in that direction. So let's go do some digging over the back there. Red Squirrel 8. Thank you ever so much for the prime. I immediately think of Trigger Happy. Sitting on the bench, Red Squirrel. I've got the package, Red Squirrel. The digestive system of the ribcage, says it's Scout. Technically, we would be out the back of the body, out the back of the spine at the moment, I think. X, you can use a stick in mode 2 to change the mode. Ah, yes. I never do that because the stick always trips me up. In fact, I think I've disabled it. The amount of times I've ruined everything I'm doing with Schematica because a stick makes its way into my inventory. I'm chopping down a tree or something. Yeah, I don't use the stick. Never use the stick. Okay then, so we seem to still have haste. Oh look, there you go, the beacon's actually there. And I guess, like, the schematic has the edge, so when the blocks change, that is the edge. We'll go 1 block further though, like this. And now we need to just have a bit of a strategy from mining up top down here. Oh, that's right, strategical X with the strategical digging of a hole. You didn't know digging holes were strategical until now. That's like here. This is where we're going. And that's the roof, because we had to build the roof last time, so as high as this, I think, is how we'll do it. And that's like the top corner now, so we can crack on. Sweet. Uh-huh. How do you dig graves? Yeah, they're alright, says Exit Flagger. I feel like there's a joke in there. Probably went straight over my head. Alright? Don't get it. Yeah, I'm looking at chat for messages. I realise I've just been waffling, ignoring y'all for a minute. To my mods, as always, any interesting messages, feel free to chuck them in our Discord. Spokey says, just lock the schematic, press M or T after using stick, and M and T again when you want to use it. I've gotten pretty adept at using things without the stick. I know I need to take on a mindset of like, let's learn, as opposed to just, oh, I can't do it, turn it off. But when it comes to that stick, it's unfortunately lost its opportunity. You know, it had a great opportunity to be useful, but unfortunately it just kept messing me up, and I was like, this stick drives me mad. Stick is trying to sabotage my schematicness. That's true. That's a true word right there, schematicness. You learn something every day, didn't you? You learn something every day. Life is learning. And learning is great. I like to learn. And forget. I forget most of the stuff I learn. Jeez. Back from dinner, says Spike. Spike, I'm glad you're back. I still want to know what's happening tomorrow, dude. Right, don't go running off eating food. You got to tell me what's going on. What's happening tomorrow? I'm very curious now. I'm a curious cat. God, this is awful. Oh, can't see a thing. Oh, do you know what? I normally can. I don't have my helmet on, do I? Oh, I'm swimming. Let's go find my ender chest. That's just a good... Oh, it's in my inventory. The place I was just looking for it. Gosh. What a wally. That'll help. It's going to be a pretty quick job to expand this thing, I've just realised. Very quick. When he says, you can change the trigger item from a stick to something else like a blaze rod, and you would not have unless you were trying to use the trigger command. But I did not know that. I just disabled it since it was giving me hassle. Talbot says, God, my half skipped a beat at seeing the water and the redstone, then I remembered the redstone wasn't there yet. Yeah, no, we haven't built any of that, actually. It's all a lie. It's an illusion. Ah! Now, where's my aqua in... Am I misremembering this stuff again? I thought one of them gave you great visibility. I must be mistaken. I just seem to remember doing this and not having an issue with being able to see stuff. So, like, why was that? Or maybe I did. I don't know. Oh, do you know what it might be? It might be the lack of an actual light source nearby because I got the dynamic lights on. That might be why it feels different. Is this actually the... Oh, somehow... How have I done that? Oh, I know. It must be that this... Yeah, the old one was taller than this one. That's wait a minute. Oh, look. Okay. What was it? Wait. Oh, there was some sort of visual bug there, maybe, that made me think I'd reached the top when I hadn't. Jeez. I don't understand. So we've got to go 2 blocks higher. Well, it is what it is. I've spotted it at least. Yeah, that's kind of weird, actually. That I don't know. Doesn't matter. Let's crack on. Don't know what happened there. Caboose says, what are the mods that X are using? Which one do you want to know about? We're currently seeing a lot of Schematica at the moment. You can see if my theory's correct when we come back to that water now as well. There's more of it over here, actually. You can see it all drifting down. take the coal too. Thank you very much. There's probably a load of it, yeah, down here from the water, so, you know, I want to hold on to these blocks. Other hermits could use the stone. Everyone's always doing a mega project, right? Someone always needs loads of some item that you got just stupid amounts of in a chest. That's how this works. Like Madoka, you dirty hacker, says Evil Freak. Oh God, terrible hacker. X, crimes against humanity. Like Madoka, what is wrong with you? Jeez Louise. Hey X, I finished school and now I'm going through a hard time because I thought I'm not going to miss school, but I kind of miss everyone, says PJ EHCLJ. Dang man, if you're missing peeps, reach out to them. You know, maybe organise a get-together again or something. Yeah, just do something about it, you know? Get out there and say, hey, school's fun, let's all do a thing. Yeah, look at this. Now I can see better because there's a light source nearby. That's what was going wrong. If I hop up here, you can kind of see where I need to fill everything in. So, we do this the smart way, which is not my usual way. Okay, usually we go by the way of the derp. Great, I just dropped off all my stone. Ugh. What's the point? We've got a ceiling up there yet? Nope. I'll take all of that. And then head back up there. How are you eating bone meal, says Devs Void. Just hold down right click on it to eat. That's how you eat things in this game. Girls of Doom gifting a sub to Darth Porter. Thank you so much for gifting the sub, Curls. Always appreciated. Here's an animation for you. Darth Porter, be sure to say thanks in the chat. Appreciate it as always. There we go. Oh, almost done. Don't forget about me. I think actually I need to fill in some of this here too, right? And nope, that's a torch. Cool, right, that makes the rest of all of this pretty easy, I think. Just a case of which bit do you want to do first? I love the little animations, says Tacos. Yeah, they're great, aren't they? As always, though, need more excuses to use them. And we need more of them, too. I haven't made one in ages. Well, I say I haven't had the Puka make one in a while. We need more goings on in these streams. There we go, that's the way. That's not the way, that's torches. Oh, gosh. Right, is there some more down here from... Yeah, look at that, all the water pushing it out. Again. Hey, X, hello from Argentina. Today I ate coconut red curry with tofu. There was a recipe in the New York Times cooking part. It was amazing. You should try it. Yeah, I had dishes like that before. Yeah, really nice. Red and green curry. They're like thigh dishes. You often get them with tofu and stuff. Very nice, I imagine. Maybe one animation regarding bone puns could be a good investment. That would actually. Yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, there's definitely something I can do with that. Sweet. Great idea. Apparently Spike Blur in chat, oh my goodness me, talking about being... Oh, you gotta watch your behaviour, Spike. Spilling the beans that the final vault day is tomorrow. You can't talk about that in these streams. God, you're gonna get yourself in trouble, young man. Jeez, talking about the final vault day. God, you're not allowed to talk about that here, Spike. Goodness me. Goodness me. Did you not want a Desco Brew animation? That could be pretty funny, actually. That could be really quite funny. And a cool way for me to, like, let y'all know that the desk is changing. I'm standing at the moment. Having a bit of a more stand and sit day today. I don't know why. It just feels like that some days, you know. Some days you don't want to wake up. You just want to stand at your desk. Bone puns would be humorous. Because there's a bone called humorous. Oh! Genius. Absolute genie. Oh, I really like this music, by the way. We haven't listened to Jalur in a while. I absolutely really loved listening to Jalur when we got permission to. And then I just kind of knew, like, you know, you listen to something over and over again, the magic goes a little bit. So with this one, I was like, okay, let's, you know, use it sparingly, so to speak. And, yeah, no, I absolutely love it when we get an excuse to pick this one. Right, so I did something wrong over here, didn't I? Got my measurements incorrect. Still doesn't seem quite right. Ah! Can he see? Can he see, man? Right, there we go. The music is so good, I've been listening to this record while studying, says Taubar. Awesome. Awesome. It's got good vibes. R48bit says, negative comment, talking about how much this season sucks. More negative comments, why don't you get good? I mean, for a moment there, I thought you might have been genuine. But, I appreciate the humour. Why don't you get good? Jeez. Yeah, this season's alright. I'm enjoying Season 9. It's going to be a long season, though, so it feels like, you know, the best is yet to come. We got the 1.19 update. We got Decked Out 2. And I'm sure many other adventures and shenanigans will unfold. We got a giant ribcage to live in for the rest of the season too, you know? That's going to be something different. Ah, look, there's more caveage happening up here. Caveage? It's a new term, I just invented it. Therefore, it's legit. Uh-huh. And with that, we're pretty much done. Up here, let's just get these last few blocks together. And there we go. Right, now it should be relatively peaceful mining. No more water sweeping everything away. Foxyfinity says, you still on Hermitcraft? No, I quit. I quit Hermitcraft some time ago, you know. I was just like, Hermitcraft, what's that? I've had enough of it. I'm not going to play on there anymore. No. I'm not on Hermitcraft. Jeez, what a silly question. Can't you read the title of the stream? Jeez. It says, I've quit Hermitcraft. Stop asking. That's what it says, right? Goodness me. These people and their questions in my chat. Don't you know chat is not for asking questions? Darth Pointer, passing it on to Tora Rose. I missed that. I just noticed it. Thank you for gifting a sub. Tora, be sure to say thanks in the chat. And yeah, enjoy the gifted sub. Have you ever played Minecraft? You should check it out, says Exit Flagger. I see where this is going. Have you heard of the internet? It's really cool. You should get on there and visit the HTTPs. Do you know what I learned about the other day? What's it called? Minitel, right? France had its own sort of dial-up communication system over the phone that was sort of like its own little internet. And they had it back in like the late 70s, 80s? Into the 90s? Oh, so fascinated. I was just like, whoa, how have I never heard of this before? And people like have still got the machines and you can like hack them. And you can like hook it up to a USB connection. And then you can sort of simulate as if you were on the network. But then it allows people to push the limits of it further so they can like, you know... Like, I watched this video where it showed chess on it, how it used to look and how they can make it look now because they can, like, just push the most out of the hardware and you're not really connected to, like, the internet. Well, not the actual Minitel network, but like a sort of port, you know, through I'm going to describe it. Like, imagine you got like a, let's say like a NES console, right? The classic NES with the original Mario Bros on it and stuff. Like, if you went and made a game with that today, you could probably push the game or what's possible on it a fair bit further, because like there's, you know, greater programming techniques and there's much more knowledge about how to squeeze everything out of the machine. But then imagine that your cartridge that you put in could, like, you had a custom cartridge and it could interface with a USB connection, and then you could hook it up to a computer. The data that you can send through that, you know, you can basically like offload some of the processing onto whatever it's connected through the USB, and then you send it the data like, hey, display these pixels on the screen or whatever. But you're not then limited by the hardware as much, because the other computer can do some of the calculating. So it's something like that. It's like it's sending the information to the little Minitel terminal, but the thing that's sending it isn't another Minitel terminal, so it can do much more. It's really cool. I heard somewhere the original creators of the internet are trying to make a more private, secure system, says Tauber. Aren't the originators of the internet probably all dead? I don't know. Like, the originators of the internet were, you know, Harvard professors or whatever. I don't know which college made it, but that was back in like the 60s and 70s and stuff that the first networks started coming together. I don't remember the specifics, but I've learned about how it was made. Luke Rose says the internet isn't that old. So the 70s is like 50 years ago, and I think the people were probably in their between their 20s and 40s maybe. So the people who helped make it in the beginning are probably the youngest, probably 70. The current internet is only from 1994 at CERN. They're probably alive. Yeah, it depends on the definition of when it started then. Like, I mean, what you're talking about, the internet 1994 is the World Wide Web introduction, right? The WWW. That then allowed it to, well, I don't think it was ever restricted from, but I don't know, like, you know, something sparked at some point because these networks already existed and people were using phone forums and all kinds of internet-y type stuff in the 80s and before 94, but WWW is like when it took off, I guess. Buddy Mountain says, thanks X for reminding me how old I am. Thanks for reminding you how much life you've enjoyed. You've enjoyed so much more life than me. I'm jelly. I'm totally jelly. I mean, how many years young, you can say, right? I don't care much raging. Maybe I'll change my mind when I'm older, but like, I just accept that it is what it is, and I just try and figure out how to enjoy what I'm doing as much as I can, you know. Take care of my body, take care of my mind, don't overthink it, you know. I accept one day I'll be old. I'm going to try and live for as long as I can, you know. Hopefully that'll work out. I don't want to die, but you know, aging will happen. I accept that. I don't think there's anything wrong with being old. Okay, so, right, next thing now that we need to do, because we cleared out the room, we will work on the ribcage, but I do need to get a bit of a head start on this, and I realised today was a great day to do this, and then I was like, oh, live stream, how can I make it catchy in a tweet? I know, I'll stand here and say, we'll work it on the ribcage. So I take my little photo, oh, that looks cool, I'll tweet that out, and then I'm like, oh, but wait a minute. I need to do other things. This is great. This is great. Lots of stuff for us to craft, like a crazy amount. That's cool. Right, I'm gonna throw that up on my other screen, and we're just gonna. Ooh, I need to turn on the night light. There we go. I have a problem with one of my monitors not respecting Windows nightlight rule. If the monitor turns off and on, it doesn't like reset it, so I get the blue light on the one screen. Google says the two inventors of the internet are still alive, but around 80 years old. I don't remember if my statement about the original creators was correct. Now, I'm going to be a total ageist here, okay? But, This is like immediately I'm like this is like actually not funny and doesn't really have a point. But like I'm guessing at 80 years old, there's probably like younger, sharper minds now that would be. And here's the thing, like, who's to say they can't? Like, they could. If they made the internet at 80 years old, they're doing smarter than me. All right. If I played one of them at chess, I'd get my butt whooped, wouldn't I? So I should shut up right about now. I mean, they they should be free to do whatever they want. But you know, I guess what I would say is that, like, as you get older, the general, I'm not gonna say trends, but like the, what's the word that I'm looking for? Stereotype, maybe? I don't know, is that you lose your sharpness a little bit with the thinking and whatnot, and you know, you'd imagine some younger people would be at the front and center of trying to revolutionize security on the internet, you know? But hey, let's just, nothing's impossible, right? How many chests? 500, just 557. Here's the other thing. I'm considering shulker boxes for all of this. Yeah. But I think I will just take that on whenever we get to it. So I do have a lot of dark oak wood. Got that on my side, I guess. Gonna need some redstone, probably more than you see here. So here's what we'll do. We'll set up. Wait, what am I doing? I want 2 chests over here. Self-realization hits hard sometimes, yeah. You know, I thought I had something funny to say about it, but I realized, like, that I know better, and that really, you know, I've listened to podcasts with some physicists and whatnot who are like in their 80s and just saying absolutely brilliant stuff. So like, there's no reason you can't. And hey, like they're a million miles smarter than me, so I'll shut up now. That's what I'm thinking. So I think when we have 4 stacks, we'll have close to 500, right? To 512. So we'll probably need like 9 stacks of this. 9 stacks of chests. That does seem like too much. Let's turn around for a second. Let's do some quick math, right? I'm going to embarrass myself again. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for each one of those. Double it is 12, 24, 48, and then let's say 60, 72, 84. I'm adding it 12 at a time. I think I'm doing that right. 96. So like, let's say that's 100, and that's 200. That's almost the full width, so that would be 300. So probably close to 350 at that point. And then you got like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24-ish. I don't know, it feels like it's a little less than that. What did I get up to? Like 350 chests, I think? Huh. Mick Mokum says 8 stacks plus. Yeah, it's just the count. The count is 550, whereas just taking a brief look at what's here. Oh, is there more chests further up? That feels a bit over the top to me. I can always craft more of them later if I'm a little unsure. So that's 256. Let's put another 2 lots in there. So everything in my inventory. And I'll craft up more later if I need it. Thing is, I also need like an insane amount of hoppers. And they require chests. I wouldn't suspect that the schematic is wrong, right? But it does feel just a little bit off. Is there like a bunch of stuff hidden elsewhere? No. Maybe we do this with a calculator then. So you got like the 2 that are hidden, and then 4, 8, 10, 12, 16. I feel like I already probably hashed that. Let's get the calculator out. Because I wasn't like doing multiples of 12, so it'd be like 32, 64, 128, and 256 per side. Then that would make that 512. Anyway, do I have an axe? Thank you. This is 15 plus 7, 22. 7 again, right? 29 and 15, so 39, 44. So 16 times 44 equals 704. So now I'm counting it manually and I'm getting a higher number. Somebody says those did not sound like multiples of 12. That's because they're multiples of 16. Now I'm getting 704. Dang. So that's 10, 12. Wait, how did I get to 16? Because we start off with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know how I jumped. Okay, let's try again. 44 times 12. 500. Okay, so the count is correct. 528. And then there's a few other chests here and there. The count is absolutely correct. Jeez, what an idiot. I now trust it. Now that I've gone in there and done that. Okay, so that's 256. So we're going to need, yeah, another 4 stacks of wood from somewhere. I know that I chopped down a ton of dark oak, right? I can always head back over to the that area and just chop some down and try and be of service. We're going to need an insane amount of wood, so probably say goodbye to all this stuff that I've stockpiled, right? So that's the next bunch. Well, it's convenient that I've been doing this, I guess. That's 512. Now we need one more stack, I guess. This is why you don't do maths on camera, according to Rendog, says Clumsy Husky. I will always do the maths on camera, and I will never use a calculator. Okay? Never ever will I. Chest for hoppers. We need to make those, yep. Okay, that's the first thing on the list done. Finito, finished. 462 hoppers. So basically, we've got to go crazy. I need to go chop trees. I need to pick up... Oh, do you know what? We got a tree farm. Huh. Huh. Perfect timing, really. Yeah, let's just double check we didn't have more lying around here. I might actually need to hold on to a stack or 2 of that type. Yeah, there's one there. We'll hold on to that. Right then. Then I need some iron, so I need to visit my iron farm. Ah, that stuff I can probably scrape. So that's 1 stack, 2 stack, 3 stack, 4 stack, 5 stacks of hoppers. We need under 8. Yeah, we need about 7 and a bit. How many did I say this was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need like 6 stacks of wood, which I think we can get from our farm. I'll leave those odds and sods in there. That being said, no, that's not a stack of birch. Aha! Did I say 4 more? 1, 2, 3, 4. Might have saved myself a bunch of chopping. Xisuma, I got a sneak peek of shop upgrades from Doc Video. Gotta hand it to ya. There's B-Dubs and Grian and Rendog for competition, but you have absolutely managed the best looking shop, says somebody. Well, thank you, my dude, but I can't take the credit. Blaze85 is the constructor of the shop. Now, it was at the end of my last episode that that shop went up. And I did credit them. I credited them again at the beginning of this one. So I hired Blaze to do the build for me. I've just not had the time lately. I don't know what it is. Actually, I do know what it is. And I moan about it a lot. But I've played this game for a long time, and it is hard for me to stay at the computer for so long. In fact, yesterday, and today even, like, the repetitive strain injuries just... I think they, like, subliminally push me off the computer sometime. Because... yesterday it was not, I wasn't in terrible discomfort, but it was just getting annoying. It was just like, ugh. It's like always there, like nagging away. And so yeah, I don't like, when I started doing this on YouTube, like I would pretty much just spend like the whole day at the computer playing Hermitcraft, you know, back in like season 2. Watching movies, grinding out the wastelands. But these days I do so much more. I'm so much more active with exercise and even stuff like cooking food, which I really enjoy. I do more other stuff that I enjoy, and I'm not as obsessed with the game as I once was. And why did I start waffling? I can't remember the beginning of this waffle. How typical. It's something to do with the shop. So yeah, so basically I thought, like, why don't I, you know, I actually hired some builders last season as well, and it was all right last season, but I kind of like massively miscalculated the scale of like builds that I needed and whatnot. So this time it was a little bit more manageable, and Blaze put together something really fantastic. And Hero of Thyme says RSI seems to hit so many streamers. It's so sad. It's yeah, it probably will hit streamers. I'm not a typical streamer because I'm just here for like 2 hours at a time, you know, 3 to 4 times a week. Some people are at this all day, and you do need to break up doing repetitive things like keyboard and mouse movement with other movements, which I do, but unfortunately for me, it's like I've already endured a lot of the damage, I guess you could say. Loopy Canis, thank you ever so much for 17 months, and MB Menace, thank you for 6 months. Greatly appreciated. Hope you all both enjoying the stream. Great Dark Shark says, assume if everyone could remember everything, do you think the world would be a better or worse place? I mean, trauma and bad memories would never be forgotten, but maybe it would make it easier to recover or come to terms with. It might be harder to scam people if they couldn't remember, and you could, and would be worse, and would never get lost or forget details. I can't decide for me if it would be better or worse. I think playing the extreme of like remember everything or forgetting everything. I think if you forgot everything, life would have to be bad, because if you think about how great the time we're living in is, okay, yeah, I know there's war, there's COVID, there's news media feeding you horrible stories all the time. But you got to zoom out. You got to take that historical perspective. Everyone's done their history lessons about what life was like in the medieval times, and no one's signing up to go back and live in a cave again, right? The marvels of modern medicine and technology and all that we have is absolutely fantastic and incredible. But it's built on knowledge. It's built on building knowledge, right? And the fact that we can remember things individually is great. And then knowledge is our collective memory. And if we didn't have the memory to remember that we could have knowledge, so absolute in terms of remembering nothing would obviously be terrible. So then, would remembering everything be good for you? I think it would massively change the experience of being human, because I think part of, you know, you are what you are, I think therefore I am. Like, this is the human experience because our memories are, you know, they remember some stuff, they forget other things. But I think it would be better. I think a stronger memory is always helpful. And I can't help but feel if you remembered absolutely everything and it was the norm, then that would be a more productive and better norm. I think there would be so many great things that would come out of being able to remember everything. Right, 311 redstone comparators is what we need next. I'm so glad I gathered that stone. Covert Catalyst is here for 7 months. Thanks for making our days better. Thank you for supporting me, my dude. I'm glad I can help in any way, shape or form. Somewhere in here we got loads of redstone. There it is. This is going to come in useful. You see, the timing is great. We've got wood farms, we've got redstone farms, now we've got a storage system. Kel says, talking about forgetting, I just had the thought today that if time would be non-linear, like shown in the movie Arrival, then we would have no memory because all of life would happen all at once. There would be nothing to forget. Kind of broke my brain a little thinking about that. Well, you know, like, you're getting into mysterious territory there, because we're talking about, like, the experiential side of life. And I'm going to need more wood for this, aren't I? I'm just thinking. Need to get sticks. Yeah, speaking of movies, I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I gotta say, I think that movie was pretty poor. It has a very high rating on International Movie Database. Usually that's a good sign for me. Whenever I come up against these sort of very ambitious, epic-y, you know, movies that deal with, like, things happening across time between people, the Tom Hanks movie Cloud Atlas comes to mind. I feel like they tend to lose me in the novelty of the time travel stuff. So this might be a little bit spoilerish, okay? If you haven't seen the movie and you want to see it, you should go check it out. I think if you're younger and you haven't seen as many movies, it's probably going to be way more appealing. The humor's pretty funny. For me, the first act and the last act of the movie were great, and then the middle act was just terrible, basically. Everything that takes place in the middle was just so, like, unnecessary, and it was very... I mean, it's easy to say artsy and sound like you're saying that negatively. I don't have a problem with a movie being artsy. I like artsy movies, but what is your emotional investment in the movie? It's about the characters, and there is really not enough, like, next to no setup for the relationship that becomes central to everything that's happening across all of these multiverses, and it really just lost me with how everything was hinging on this emotional narrative that you kind of knew nothing about, really. You've been very vaguely introduced to it, and then it was like central to everything all of a sudden. And then once the novelty of the jumping around through time and the tricks that they do with that wears off, you're kind of not left with a lot, and the movie really takes its time lingering in that area over and over again, just going back and forth through the time stuff, and it was just a real drag. And when I was really enjoying the beginning of the movie, and when I walked out of there, I thought, you know, that wasn't so bad, but like, eh. And then yeah, I don't know, like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, if someone was like, hey, do you want to watch this movie again? I'm like, please don't. Yeah, I don't like to hate on anything. I don't hate it, obviously. It just didn't work for me. I'm going to turn this off as well for a minute. Anyway, I feel like I haven't enjoyed movies in general as much lately. I got it into my head during the lockdown, you know, like, movies are a cool thing, and I had a great time watching through some classics. The last movie that I watched, you know, at home with a meal or whatever was Leon, and that was really fantastic. Been a long time since I'd seen that. I got the DVD. It was kind of nice, actually, watching it in lower quality. But, like, the charm's kind of gone a little bit. I've had my fix of all that, and I just feel like I, you know, should focus on enjoying some other stuff, I guess. So I'm looking for other things to do, really, than watch movies. I do want to watch that new Adam Sandler movie, because when Adam Sandler, like, you know, isn't doing the Adam Sandler thing, he's a pretty darn good actor if you get him in the right movie or whatever. So kind of looking forward to that. Wow, so I need to go mine some nether quartz next by the looks of it. Okay then, so we'll drop off supplies in here. We're going to need rockets. We'll probably just mine it directly with fortune. Maybe a fire potion to be on the cautious side. There might not be that much ribcage action today. I'm going to say it now. We'll have to do a little bit in a bit. Let's get this quartz hammered out first. Oh yeah, where am I going to find a potion? Is it in here? In there? No? No potions. No fire pots. I'll have to be super careful. Strictly speaking, Cloud Atlas is not about time travel. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you know, it came to mind that it had that similar sort of, like, lofty, epic goal to it, and it didn't quite hit. Like, I've seen a few movies like that where you sort of have this break in normality that is, like, air quotes, epic. You know, something kind of big to wrap your head round. And it hinges on something like an emotional narrative between characters. And if that's not done right, like if you're not invested in that narrative, then things start to fall apart, in my opinion. Yeah! Oh! That was some aiming right there. I went to the movies, watched the latest Jurassic World movie yesterday, enjoyed it, says Coles. Awesome. I think I answered that before and just said that's the kind of movie I like to watch with other people, you know. Sir Luckety, some permits do enjoy good old roleplay and lore. X isn't much into roleplaying. I'm not, it's just not me. Like, it's kind of weird to be like so close and adjacent to other things that people are really great at, and then it's just like not your thing. Because I love it. I love what the other hermits do. They're all terrific and whatnot with the creating of stories, and it really just isn't me at all. My head just goes to a way different place. I mean, if you think about, you know, if you... I guess I'm trying to explain something that might not be obvious, but my point was like it should be obvious in my head. So like, let's take a step back. Like look at what I do when I do things that are not Hermitcraft, like playing puzzle games, making redstone contraptions, playing chess. Like, these are not story-related things. These are, you know, very like strategy puzzles. I like sciencey stuff. You know, I talk about science and philosophy-related things a fair bit, I guess. What am I looking for again? I think I was just having a look to see if there was any quartz lying about. Curl says, you totally sold me on that new movie. How you did this while describing all the things you don't like about it is beyond me. Well, that's probably like a good sign that I am articulating things in the movie well, because like when I want to watch a movie, there's a movie critic that I like by the name of Chris Stuckman, who I've been watching for an insanely long time now. I think about it, maybe like 8-9 years on YouTube. And the way he describes a movie, whether he, you know, loves it or hates it, I just understand in the way that it's being described what kind of movie it is and if it's for me or not. So maybe it's like that. Maybe I'm just, you know, saying enough that, like, even if I didn't like it, you kind of get a sense of what it's about, and, you know, everyone's got different tastes, right? Yeah, I feel like I need some just junk blocks here in my hotbar. There we go. Anyway, I could have liked it more had it been done a little different. For me, a movie like that, you know, the novelty wears off quite quick, and it's, as I've said several times now, it's... where is all the quartz? I feel like, you know, we've come out pretty far here. We should find more of this stuff, right? I guess what you really want is nether wastes. That's probably the best biome for this. I might also want to put a gold cap on now that I think about it. Yeah, let's do that. Oh wait, do I even have a gold cap in here? I do. I still got that. Yeah, let's go back that way a little bit and then to the nether wastes. All the noises. It really looks like someone's come through here and done the same thing already, doesn't it? Then a soul sand valley, which is never fun. Oh, so little quartz on the ground. Great Dark Shark says, how did you get into Minecraft? Great question. My friend went, have you heard of Minecraft? And I went, nah. And they're like, I think you like it. And I went, alright. And then I downloaded it from the Pirate Bay or something like that. And I played it for a few hours and I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy this game. That was back when I would pirate stuff. Actually, now I think about it, yeah. That was back when I would pirate stuff because I couldn't afford anything, right? But I would just pirate stuff, you know, and then consume it or whatever. But that game, no, like not long after playing it pirated, I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm going to buy this. Which, I didn't have much money. So it obviously made like quite an impression on me. I don't remember learning that it was like super indie or anything. Or maybe that was just kind of like obvious. But I think even then I wouldn't have been like, oh, this is like indie, I need to support them. I'd have just been like, Oh, it costs money. I don't have money. You know. Great question, better story, says IYIY. Repair that pickaxe at the same time. This one, I don't need to use it a crazy amount. Actually, no, I probably will need to use it a fair bit as we go on. Right, now you got to put up with Dark Nether, I guess. So, repairing is part of the game now. I don't like this Soul Sand Valley. Because skellies butt kickers be spawning there, right? Piglins are, they're funny. Funny little inhabitants. IYIY! Thank you ever so much for gifting the subs too! Ardness, Estelian, Chaos Lord, Hacker, McCormick, and Meja Black. Y'all been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. Very much appreciate you supporting our community there. Cole says that there are funny TikToks where X talks about how he was a teenager. I was a teenager once, bro. Bro, I was a teenager. God, I was a terrible teenager. If I could go back in time, I'd give myself a good talking to, and I'd definitely ignore myself as well. I mean my older self. I mean my teenage self would ignore me now. That's what I find so funny. Like, everyone talks about, like, you know, going back in time and giving yourself advice. Don't think like that. Like, that's not... You can't go back in time. Don't dwell on that. Right, keep moving forward. Alright, you make mistakes. That's life. But it's funny because, like, I'd want to go back and say all these things, but I just know I wouldn't listen. Oh, you're just an adult. You're no fun. I don't know. Something like that. Hushi says, I started watching you in middle school and now I graduated high school. Wow, well done on graduating, my dude. And thanks for sticking around for so long. Let's get these fires out. Gosh. Fire brigade over here. Is that it? Is that all I get? One piece. God. Do you feel old sometimes, X, as Blob Borax? I don't. I feel like I've been incredibly blessed and fortunate to have come from a pretty, like, dark place mentally to a much better positive place. And with that, I've sort of seen the meta of it, of like how, I don't know, like how you don't have to be so attached to how you're feeling when you have like bigger goals in mind or like a broader sense of what really matters. And so I kind of know, like, I just need to keep on this track. I just need to always be on top of my own self and not let those emotions, like, overwhelm me or whatever. And it gives me, like, a sense of awe sometimes. Not like, at myself, but just at how simple life's pleasures can be. And, you know, having worked on myself for so long and always trying to keep my mind in a good place, sometimes I can just go for a walk and feel really happy. Just like, it's easier at summer, but you know, just, the sun is making me feel warm. You know, you're alive. It's great. It's a gift. Just, you know, don't overthink it. So yeah, I keep trying to like watch myself and steer myself in those sorts of directions, right, where I can just enjoy the simplicity of something like that. And so, you know, do I feel old? I just feel like I've gotten smarter, I've gotten more emotionally mature. This is growth, right? It doesn't make me feel old. It's like I would so much rather be where I am now than I was 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 15, or 20, right? Like, I don't want to go back and do all of that again. I got here. I'm good with it. And I talked earlier about how, like, aging doesn't really bother me. I might change my mind when my body's old and knackered, but, like, I'm not taking what I've got for granted. I'm trying to enjoy it every day and look after it. And so I feel like that's the right principle, right? When you're old and grey and your body's knackered, you might be thinking, oh, I wish I'd have, you know, eaten better and exercised more and looked after myself. And I feel like, you know, I thought ahead and now I'm doing that. So like, I'm not going to regret it. I'm not going to worry about it, right? This is the plan. Just go with it. Go with the flow. That's my attitude. And yeah, I genuinely feel the only thing I would say that I miss that I could do when I was younger is running. However, here's something I haven't talked about, and someone in chat I owe a thanks to, a potential thanks. It's not okay. There's not like a fully realized situation. We're going to talk about it today and then in the future. Talbot says, but do you regret the things you did as a teenager? I mean, I did regret them at a time, but honestly, I just look at it like it was a different time and place. It was, you know, I was a different person, and a regret is to dwell on something. It's to think about it. If you forget it, you can't regret it. That rhymes, which sounds really cool. Anyway, if you forget it, you can't regret it. But like, you don't have to remember it either. You don't have to keep thinking about it. There is tons of stuff I would have done differently, but that's not how life works. So if I dwell on it, it's a problem for me. But you know, I've faced all those things, and I'm past it. It's not who I am anymore, and I accept that. I mean, there are parts of, you know, myself, things that are into, good memories that I had or whatever that stay with you, but all the bad stuff, it's like I've moved on. You know, some of it, if I want to go there and think about it, sure, it'll haunt me a bit, it'll be difficult, it'll make me feel sad, but I don't need to spend my time doing that, right? I don't need to go there and make myself suffer for it. It happened, it's over now. Like, think about tomorrow, think about the plans I can make for the future. Something like that, something like that. I forget what the original question was. So anyway, right, here's this thing about running, okay? So because had trouble with my knees for the last couple of years, you know, I might look back and, oh man, I used to, you know, love running. I want to do that again. I have, you know, admittedly, like, dwelled on that a bit here and there, but there's other ways I can keep in shape. It's not essential. However, someone came into my stream and talked about eggshell membranes. And apparently they're really good for joint health and the tissue in your joints, which is like, you know, where I have this injury, you know, is aided greatly by all of the nutrients and whatnot that are found in eggshell membranes, and I believe the eggshells themselves. So I went and did some research, and to be fair, there's not a lot. It's not a widely discussed thing. But there are some studies, and there are some people talking about it, and it seems like a thing you can do. So what I do, or what I did at first, is I would peel out the egg membranes from the eggshells and cook them with eggs. That's a complete pain in the bum. Takes loads of time. It's really tricky to do without cracking all the eggshell. So now what I'm doing is I'm freezing the eggs after I use them, and then later on I'm going to crush them up, cook them, and turn them into a powder, which is supposed to be the equivalent of supplement. Now you can already get a supplement where people have done that. And interestingly, you know, what does the egg industry have lots of, right? When they're making egg-related products, you get those crack shells, they just go in the bin. So there are factories out there just pumping out loads of cracked egg shell and membrane, and it gets ground up and turned into some capsules, right? And I've started taking these capsules. I've got 30 of them. After 30 days, I'm going to go for a run, and since I've started taking them, I am yet to feel, probably like 7 days, a week ago, Friday. I think, yeah, no. I don't know how many days I've been taking. Hey, when did I go on holiday? Let me check. Yeah, no, I'm actually only like 6 or 7 days into it. I now realise, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm overlapping it with something else I'm doing as well, actually. So there are two things that I'm doing for my knees at the moment. Anyway, since I've been doing these two things, so I don't actually know which one's making the difference. I haven't felt a single, like, tweak or a tinge or anything yet, right? My knees have been good for about 10 days solid, right? And that's promising. I'm going to keep... I'm eating a sort of bone meal IRL, says Curls. If eggs count as bones, then sure. I tried some bone broth a while back as well. It was really pricey to order. And funny enough, the one that was really tasty was the vegan one, the vegetable broth. Like, dang, that was tasty. The other ones were a little bit like Bovril or something like that. Oh, knees! I thought you said niece. No, it's talking about my niece. Oh. Running with my niece. Nah, my knees. God, you must have been so confused. That must have been like, just like, what is going on? I don't understand what this conversation is about. My knees, where are we gonna go? Looks like all of this stuff's been raided down at this level too. Fortress. I mean, there's some blobs here, but they're kind of... How much have I mined? I think I've actually got enough. Right? That's enough. Okay, we'll make our way back. Ugh, I need to look at the screen that I'm flying. This might be a little tricky to navigate back to, but we came from sort of this direction. Do not want to get trapped. There is a bunch of quartz around here. I'm going to just pick up some more while we're in the area. Okay, so the other thing that I've got is I brought a couple pairs of barefoot shoes. Okay, these are shoes that have... They're for like running and hiking and stuff, and they have no padding on the inside. And the first couple of days of wearing them, I felt like my calves and various parts of my leg just feel a little bit different. Not really pain, but the kind of thing where, like, you know, you need to adapt. But almost immediately I adapted really quickly, and I really like walking in them. And it reminds me of something that I've never talked about, which is that I have recurring dreams. And the reason that I've, like, never talked about this is because sometimes you just, like, you need, like, a spark to make you think about something different. Right? I have recurring dreams about being barefoot. And often, when I'm barefoot, walking around, running, doing whatever, I become aware that my feet are bare. And I'm either thinking this myself, or someone's saying it to me, or it's visible. But like, I become aware of glass and objects, but I'm not bothered by it. Right? And I've kind of got an attitude of, I'll be alright, it's fine, don't worry about it. And, you know, now I think, like, oh, that's really quite odd. Where am I? Whose fault was this? Oh, jeez. Yeah, I really think it's like quite odd to dream like that. But here's the thing: I enjoy it in the dream. It's like I like this, right? Now I don't know if my that's my brain telling me something I don't already know. Like, I don't know what that means, but I love the idea of just walking in grass and stuff without any shoes on. And I never really do it that often, but whenever you do it, it feels kind of nice. And then I put on these shoes and I go walking, and just think about having your feet closer to what you're walking on feels really nice. Like, I walk on grass with them, I walk on concrete with them, and I just prefer it. And Wolf Olawa says, I love being barefoot. Well, I'm barefoot right now as I stream. I'm standing. I actually should probably sit down for a bit now. We'll change posture. And I generally keep barefoot when I'm in the house. Right? Keep your feet breathing and whatnot. So I've got 2 pairs of these. One for working out. And now one for going outdoors. And I absolutely love them. and I've done a lot of walking in them. We went on holiday and I had them with me. And as soon as I put them on, I couldn't take them off. And I think I did like 30,000 steps in one day. So, yeah, 2 things that I'm doing that I'm hoping will get me to do, to go running in a month. So when I run out of my supplements, I'm going to go for a run. And I don't know what way to do the run, right? Should I do it with these new barefoot shoes? Because the impact on your feet is going to be harder. Or should I put on my old running shoes? I don't know how to call it yet, but I think I'm going to try and run in the barefoot shoes, since that's how I'm now, how my, I guess the muscles in my legs and how everything is operating at the moment is just with that barefoot model. Some spiritual teachings talk about the advantages of walking barefoot for being more grounded. Yeah, sometimes, mind and body, they're connected, right? And some things can be subtle. Just having your feet on the ground, maybe makes you feel a little bit more connected to reality in some way or another. Monster IE, thank you for 2 months of support, my dude. And Eva HC, thank you for 20. Did you know that the propaganda is when a British person has a really good look at something? The proper... Oh, mate. Oh, God. That took me too long. I'm ashamed at myself. I'm having a propaganda at it, bruv. Yeah. Now I understand. That's good. I like that one. Self-forgiveness is so important, especially when looking back in time. We all did our best with the knowledge and ability we had back then. I did not, Curls. I could have done far better. No, you're right. Self-forgiveness is hugely important. I listened to the idea of self-forgiveness for so long, and I'm still not sure if I've really wrapped my head around it, but I guess the way I would word it, or how it works in my head for me, is well, self-forgiveness. Give yourself a break. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're human. Humans make mistakes. I haven't gone quite as far as some of the teachings sound, at least to me, but yeah. I needed to go get some sticks. I should have gone to the witch farm while I was out there. I'm going to run out of rockets to this way. Let's just head there. It's a stream. We waffle. We get distracted. Yeah, what did you expect, eh? Some sort of hyper-focused Xisuma doing all the things? No. No. Start with shoes you are used to and then slowly stretch. Also depends if you are running on hard track or softer ground, says Giant Mushroom. Yeah, okay, so, the thing is, I'm, not using my regular shoes for the last 10 days, right? I am... God, it feels like... I can't believe it's 10 days. It feels like 2 weeks, at least. Anyway, my body likes them and is getting used to them. Now, when I run, it'll be different, but the thing is, I haven't run for a long time, so I kind of feel like sticking with the barefoot ones is good. I haven't formulated the plan yet because I'm not there, but my thinking was leaning in the direction of finding somewhere grassy to go run. Just find some fields and do some running in the fields first, so it's softer on the feet. Clumsy Husky says the waffling is what makes an Xisuma stream. I'm glad you think so. North says, I wear flip-flops all year round and haven't had back or foot pain for 10 plus years now, and I stand 10 hours a day for work. Flip-flops can be a bit cushioned, can't they? But I'm guessing, you're telling that story because they're not. Wow, someone went absolute ham over here. This goes where I want to go. I'm just wondering if it'll, cut up there soon, because I need to get up to the left. I could probably use a rocket in here. Whoa! And where is this? I still got my gold hat on. I do. That's good. I'll tell you what. I keep forgetting that I have free cam, and I absolutely love it. It's unbelievably helpful when you're building to use this thing. I got a feeling we probably went way past it, where I need to be. I saw the Wow. It might even be... Okay. That far away, hey? Boom. Don't tread on me. So out here I saw... Yep, that's the original. Goes down here. Right, I was looking too high up would be problem A. So there's... Alright, so there is actually not a connection? It was right above where we needed to be. Huh. I was up here somewhere. I was here. And we need to be down there. Oh, look. If I'd have gone a little further, we would have got there. Huh. Well, that's good. I'm surprised X doesn't find free cam as too cheaty, says Garrett. Well, here's the thing, right? Like, I've used camera accounts to do stuff like this for so long. It's like, you know, you just need to go look and figure out where this thing is or not. I've done that for so long. And then I kind of realised, like, oh, I don't have to log in. I can just press the free cam button and go look. And then I've been doing something which I haven't done as much, which is leaving a camera account on to look at the thing you're building, right? I haven't done that a lot in the past. I have done it on occasion. But then, oh my god, when you can just... You're in the middle of building something and you can just go look at it from a couple of different perspectives. It's like a... Oh, I left one of these over here. It's like a building hack. You just... Or did I? I must have left one at my... Oh, I'm so glad that I left one here, because now I can put things in the shulker boxes. Great. Yeah, it's such a great building hack, really. Like, you just... All of a sudden, you're looking at what you're doing from a different perspective, and... That makes... God, those minecarts sound awful, don't they? They sound like they're rubbing up against one another in a way that makes you cringe. You know, like two tissue papers. You know what I'm on about. You know what I'm on about. Right, is that enough stickage? I think that's probably enough. I could actually turn them into these things while I'm here. That should be... God, they sound awful, those minecarts. Yeah, if there's more redstone to be had, maybe I can make another stack, craft it up, that kind of thing. Yeah, there's going to be enough, I think. Oh, there it is. I was standing on top of it. Yeah, so we'll definitely take that. And then I think I'll take another round of sticks. There you go. Someone says rockets. Rockets? Big Bertha, thank you for using your Amazon Prime subscription on me, my dude. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream. And thank you for the support. Wet Enderman says, Xisuma, are you more of a winter guy or a summer guy? I used to be a winter person. I used to like, you know, the dark of night. I still do, actually. I tell you what, I absolutely love walking at night time. Love it, especially somewhere like away from, you know, the cities and lights and stuff. I used to do a lot of walking at night because I worked a night shift. Just love the atmosphere, cool air. But yeah, I think as time's gone on, I've preferred the summer much more. Like, I really appreciate the sun and being outside and good weather. But you know, it's more like the mild to warm days that are the best, and it's those hot baking days in summer that are just too much. How do you eat bone meal? Why do people keep asking me this? Just right click on it. Same as every other food. You don't have to do anything special. Would be nice to do nighttime walks, but it's not exactly safe where I live, says Starflower. Yeah, yeah, it depends on how you feel about how safe you are in your neighbourhood, I guess. I've never really Apart from when I was young, there used to be like a lot of trouble out and about. And I would get involved in some of that trouble, I guess. But these days it just feels, I don't know, like, just never encounter any problems really. So I'm perfectly content and fine walking at whatever time. I wonder how bone meal will even taste, says Blue Raven. It probably tastes like bone broth, is my guess. Yeah, I was talking about that. I brought some bone broth a while back. And there was a chicken one, a beef one, and a vegetable one. And the vegetable one was the best. Tasted really good. It's kind of a little bit more soupy, that one. But they were interesting. Apparently loaded with protein and like next to no calories. And supposedly there's a bunch of health benefits, right? How many of these did I need? Well, over 4 stacks. 4 stacks is 256. We need 308. No, 311. So 4 stacks plus 1. We need 5 stacks. Okay, I'm out of stone at the moment. Where am I going to get some stone from? And then we need 2 more of those. Oh, still don't have enough. Looks like I ran out of some of the redstone there. Still need stone. Alright, that should be me good on that. Cannibal all the way, says Mafia Kid. No thanks. Bone broth is like a geeky skeleton. A geeky skeleton? Oh, bone buff. Oh! I don't know if that works, that joke. Yeah, so we got this stuff now lying around, I guess. And a bunch of sticks in there. I'm just gonna keep chucking stuff somewhere, right? It's gotta go somewhere. So that means we've got all the comparators we need. Then we need like 200 redstone dust. 128. Yeah, that's about 200, isn't it? And then I guess as you get further down the list, you're going to start to just see more and more stuff that you don't really need to grind for. Yeah, I'm just looking through the list. Like, I need 109 powered rails though, so those are made with gold. And if I remember correctly, I was running low on gold in here. I think I might just go back to doing ye old ribcage, because otherwise this would be a stream where we work on the ribcage and yet nothing gets done over there. So let's get back to it. All right, I feel like the rest of the prep I'll do another time. But that was a good start. That being said, let me just have a quick glance again. There isn't something else. I think after this point, everything under a stack probably can't be that brutal to get. Yeah, I think we're going to be fine. Okay, right, so now we need to get our black concrete together and our bone blocks. There's some bone blocks. Was there more in that one? There was. Where's all the black concrete gone? Unfortunately, Evil X could not make a big impact last season. Oh, you meant this season? Was very much looking forward to it. What do you mean, Mafia Kid? Like, Evil X was all of last season. Like, that was the whole thing. And it was great. It was good fun. I probably won't do something like that again, though. But I'm glad I gave it a shot. Okay, there you go. There's all of that. I'm going to chuck these things into here then. And I need to cough. It ended quickly. Yeah, it was a short season. X, which Hermit space do you like the most this season? I'm going to say Doc. I don't really know what anyone else is doing other than Doc. Like, this season I've just been a bit of a loner, I guess, just doing my own thing. But I've been watching some of Doc's videos. Or should I say I was? I haven't like watched the last few, to be fair. Kind of seen like the perimeter bit come together. But dang, it's such a major sort of throwback to old school Origins. Playing this game. I remember I used to get home from work, always excited. Check the YouTube feed, see if Doc's uploaded the next episode of the World Tour, you know. Different times back then, different times. Back when YouTube and the world seemed so innocent. Sinto, here for 3 months, thank you ever so much. And Woody Ignat, here for 11. Greatly appreciate your support. Appreciate it. I'm now reminded of another topic. There's actually been quite a lot of things I've wanted to talk about, and I guess I haven't been streaming as consistently lately, and we've been playing some other games and chess and whatnot too. So one of these other things I wanted to talk about was a podcast. Actually, I think I did. Now that I start talking about it, like my brain's like, you've said this already. I think it's called Through the Web, and it's by the New York Times Journal. And it's a podcast that goes over like the last basically 10 years of being on the internet, but heavily lensed through like YouTube and the main goings on of these years. And there's something about it that just felt quite different, because you can go and watch like all sorts of recap shows and whatnot that people make about, you know, what's happened over the last so many years, opinions and all this kind of stuff. But this one just, I don't know, it did it in a way that felt a little kind of personal, and it was probably because of the YouTube aspect. It really reminded me so much. So many of the events that they talked about and covered were really close to home, being a YouTuber and having like lived through these things. You know, like if you've been around for a while, the whole ad-apocalypse with PewDiePie, they kind of build up to that, but that was like a big bit where I was like, oh man, I remember all of this. I remember all the opinions, all the drama, all the goings down, and then you had like later on the sub race and all that, which is a bit newer. But it goes behind further back to things like the Harlem Shake, and yeah, really big throwback for me. Really enjoyed that podcast, and kind of recommend it really. I watched the Mr. Beast documentary a few days ago. Really interesting too. Which one is that, Talbar? You've immediately made me think that isn't Casey Neistat sitting on some sort of documentary about someone that's supposed to be really damning? I remember hearing about that a while ago. I don't think it's Mr. Beast. Right, I need someone to tell me about the Mr. Beast thing, and then someone to tell me about the Casey Neistat thing. I think Mr. Beast is the top bloke. I got to admit, like early on, I didn't like really pay too much attention to his stuff, and the whole nature of like the giveaway and the money being like central to it kind of turned me off a lot. But I watched some podcast interviews of him and just realized, oh, this is just like a genuine person, you know. And yeah, I think he's a decent guy, trying to do good in the world, you know, and doing it their own way. Fascinating to see. X, are you familiar with the Discworld books? About to finish the 26th, and I'm hugely in love with them. I read a few of them when I was a kid, and you know what? I started reading or listening to a H.P. Lovecraft novel the other day, and I got pretty roped into it. I had to put it down because I was coming to like a noisy place on my walk, and I was like, actually really want to like get immersed in this. This is like really creepy. Ah, yes, Casey Neistat is doing the David Dobrik thing. Okay. I immediately don't feel as interested. Like, I'm trying to stay away from some of that sort of drama. That creator drama, just, I don't know. I can, you know, get involved in a controversial topic here and there, and it's good to be informed and learned about the world, but the whole creators being irresponsible and it just seems so like routine at this point. Like, oh yep, no surprise, some creator's done some douchebaggy thing and the internet's up in arms about it. Ardness says, would you collab with Mr. Beast if you had a chance? What do you think about these opportunities? You see, I don't do a lot of collaborating, right? Like, I'm not a collaborative type of creator, and I also don't do IRL type stuff. So, you know, it'd be amazing, I'm sure, but like it just doesn't sort of overlap with how I do things, you know? Oh. Very much keep to myself. Drama takes too much mental energy, says Eva HC. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, as I was saying, you know, I just think Jimmy's his name, right? They call him Jimmy? Is that his name? Seems like a decent bloke, and is like doing some really amazing stuff with like Beast Philanthropy and all of that. Speaking of Lovecraft, someone replaced the lyrics of Piano Man with Nemesis, and it works way too well. If I recall, it was called HP Joelcraft, if you want to check it out later. Piano Man, I feel like I don't know what song that is. But some songs everyone knows, right? Except me. Ah! Up we go. Yeah, I can take my own creative liberties a little bit here and there, like I'm going to do right now. I think actually there might be times when just turning it off helps a little bit. And maybe it's just better to get this bit done without it. Oh, do you know what I'm missing? Maybe it's that. Now if I go turn it back on. It is nicer with it, but anyway. Let's crack on. I've placed a lot of these blocks lately, and I gotta say they are kind of annoying. I think I might use Tango's texture pack or something similar, because they just kind of turn into like utter darkness wherever you are, and then you're not actually sure where you're placing things or not. Like, I kind of want to see the contours to know if I'm doing it wrong or right. Maybe Mr. Beast Gaming. I don't know what Mr. Beast Gaming is. Oh wait, no, he does gaming videos too, right? Really fascinating, like how much what he's doing is just like resonating with people. But those videos and the way they're edited, they're just so... They're so like hyper focused on like giving you something over and over again. I got to admit, like at times the style is like a bit much for me. I watched the Willy Wonka one. That's like the first one I've watched in quite a while actually, and I just kind of wish it slowed down a little bit. Like I wanted to take in more of what was going on, and it just, you know, it just kept coming at you. Boom, boom, boom. This thing, that thing, this thing, that thing. That's how they deliberately edit it. Vav Herrera, thank you ever so much for 6 months of support, half a year out there, greatly appreciated, and hope you're enjoying the stream. Casey Neistat apparently exposes David Dobrik. Mr. Beast appeared in a documentary series called Beyond the Spotlight, and it's available on Amazon Prime. I might watch that if I see it. I'm not going to bookmark it. I've watched quite a few podcasts with him, which I've enjoyed. Green Mazing says TikTok influence. I actually don't think it's TikTok. I think that was him figuring out how YouTube works. Like, the shortening of the attention span is just going to keep going in that direction, right? That'll just keep happening. I kind of feel like maybe keeping these a little thicker has some benefit. Anyway, I'll probably never notice again, so we'll just keep cracking on. But here's that editing style. That I mean, maybe I could be mistaken, but like I've seen it. It felt more prevalent on YouTube. You could be right. Like, I'm not on TikTok, right? So maybe it does have its history over there. But the shortening of the attention span was happening before TikTok was big, anyway. I just think it's accelerated it a step or two. And you can find some weird stuff on TikTok. I uploaded a video to it yesterday, and I got suggested some videos by some teenager wearing some weird makeup, and I was just like, it just made me feel like I don't understand what this is. I don't understand. Yeah, they just had a lot of videos of themselves wearing all this bizarre makeup. I'm not into makeup at all though. Like, really not my thing. I've never liked that kind of world of beauty or whatever. However it is, never been my thing. X is getting old and not understanding the TikTok stuff. Literally, it was just like, I don't get why. Why? I also don't want to get sucked into going on there. I tell you, there's a type of content that I used to like that I don't like anymore, which is the sort of stuff that's like comical and weird and sort of like low grade content, if you want to think of it through the lens of content. I don't know quite how to describe it really, but I just stopped watching stuff like that like some time ago. Because I don't know, like, you can listen to a podcast and learn about some fascinating stuff happening in the world of science instead of watching like memes and stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna pay attention to that kind of stuff anymore. Crap posts, says Pig Noodle. Yeah, you could call it that. You could call it that. Like, because you can go out there and just find, like, utterly weird content on the internet that, like, hurts your brain a little bit and is just weird and bizarre. But, like, as much as it, like, draws you in and sort of makes you look at it, it's kind of, like, not actually offering you anything for your time. And at some point or another, it was just like, I'm just never going to, like, I'm not going to pay attention to this anymore. YouTube used to be just like TikTok. It evolved over time. I don't think YouTube is very comparable to TikTok. Like, TikTok is very short form content over and over again, very snappy, whereas YouTube has like an inherently longer format. Like, you have to have 8 minutes to qualify for like better monetization. So there's already an incentive to you know, keep people watching longer videos, and also like the monetization model, if you want to call it that, is built around watch time and keeping people on the platform, but through that metric, I guess. So there are incentives for longer videos on TikTok, on YouTube, and then TikTok has a 3-minute limit, right? So that's quite different if you think about it. It's quite a big difference. I don't know how I'm going to finish this base project. It's just going to be a live stream grind. Whenever I need a chat, I'm just going to come and work on this, you know. The thing is, though, I need to get some ribs sort of like finished so that I can start to actually use this thing conceptually. Like, potentially I could maybe put my first project in there and open it up and then fly in whenever I need to use it. I think I'm going to focus on this bit here next. Oh yeah, and notice how we've done that all the way up there. That's a good way, actually it's a really good way to keep track of it. Maybe what I should do is focus on bringing this rib down and doing like that. So that we would dig down here until we reach that bit. And then it's like, if you tackle it that way, you won't sort of get lost in not quite understanding where it starts and ends, which is what I feel like I do a little bit. It's like, where does this start and end? It's 10 minutes now. Oh, right. TikTok up to 10. That's interesting, because everyone's trying to compete with TikTok on their short system, right? On their shorter content. And then TikTok turns around and starts to compete the other direction, which is probably going to be more favourable for them, that they've built up the platform on the short stuff, and now they can experiment with the longer stuff. Whereas the other way around, the other platforms are playing catch up. Green Mazing, thank you for cheers and biddies. By the way, thanks for preserving these wiser podcast style discussions. No problem at all, my dude. Thank you for supporting it with the cheers and biddies. I like doing this from time to time. They are very podcasty. The music on your stream is so good. Wow, says Crimson BTW. If you want to go check it out, Jalur is on Bandcamp. Highly recommended. Watching your stream feels like a podcast, says Feces Man. Oh, Feces Man, you're so mature. With that username. I'm glad it does. I love podcasts. I've, wanted to do my own podcast, but I kind of just realised at one point, this is it. Like, this is the equivalent of me doing a podcast. So, like, rather than it be a podcast, it's just, it is what it is. It's this, It's the way to think about it. Right, so you can kind of see where this thing is, yeah, that's like the bottom, and that's where the next bit starts. So all I need to do is put these bone blocks in, because we're focusing on the connection to the top at the moment. What would your dream project podcast be? A project podcast? I mean, my dream podcast would be me doing what I do in these streams, but not having to be in this environment to do it. If I could just sit down and talk like this, which I probably could, but I've tried to on occasion, it doesn't work. There's something about having this like other environment that pulls you away, and I don't know, it gives you like a break in flow and stuff. It really kind of helps, but like it would be just being able to do the waffle bit without the streaming bit, right? And then that's essentially me making a podcast at that point. Okay, so we're gonna knock this bit here back a little bit. Get some more bones in the hotbar. Curl says, what I'm trying to wrap my brain around is what gives more ad revenue or is better for the CC. If 100% of the viewers watch the short video, 50% of the viewers would watch a longer video, like double or 3 times the length of the video. It's pretty simple. It's just watch time, right? There are other factors that go into ad revenue that can vary from like person to person, and regional factors and whatnot based on where the content is coming from. But it's watch time, right? So if 10 people watch for 10 seconds, you upload a minute video and 10 people watch pretty much all of it. Let's say that's 9 minutes in total. Or you upload a 20-minute video and one person watches all of it, then that's 20 minutes of watch time. So that's how that works. But there's other factors that you want to bring in as well. It's not all about money. It's like viewership is important. So if you have a short and smart, snappy video that's going to go viral, then wow, that could be really good for your channel. So it's not always just about like maximizing, view time for revenue. Alright, there we go. This is so... I can't believe that I've signed myself up for another grind. I told myself, like, this season's going to be different. I'm going to come up with a different concept and... Giant ribcage, yeah, no problem. I guess when you fly around in a creative world looking at, like, this thing you're going to build, it doesn't look the same as placing it block by block in survival like this. Crazy. There we go. Uh-huh. Okay, that bit there looks kind of weird, doesn't it? But that's the way that it rolls. Rightio, let's keep placing these blocks. I feel like those should be bones, actually. And these bits are going to be black. What chat message will he read next? Says Qma888. I don't know. I was looking at the blocks too much. Great Dark asks what pet would I have? I'd probably get a dog if I were to have a pet. I love dogs. They're amazing. Hydration reminder. Thank you so much, Curls. I need to drink some water, don't I? God, this bottle's almost glug-lugged its way empty. Placing blown box gives me a throwback to Season 7, building towers and talking about conspiracies. Those towers, though, they were built with white concrete, right? If I'm picking up what you're putting down. Conspiracies, eh? I haven't heard a good conspiracy theory in a while, it feels like. Maybe I've just found better sources of information these days. Not noticing enough of? As much of? The quackery out there? I don't know. Birds aren't real! Are they? That one. That's a great conspiracy theory, that one. Birds aren't real. Sure they're not, mate. Sure. Do you believe in extraterrestrial life? Says Great Dark Shark. I was thinking about this just the other day. Here's a thought for you. Right, there's a caveman. All right, the caveman is you. You know, you explore the land around you with your fellow cave folk, and you wonder, is anyone else out there? And you know, one day you discover the great frontier, the barrier, the water. You don't know how to get, you know, over the water, but you know, one day people learn how to make boats and swim and all that kind of stuff, and they travel far enough that they find other people. They find another landmass and there's people on it. Now, someone will probably point out that the origin story of people means that they have to migrate, and then they would have to forget that they once migrated in my story. But I believe that's not only possible, has also happened. So yeah, like at one point in time, did caveman ever wonder, are there other cavemen out there? So, you know, eventually, like, they go out there, they find another island, and now these communities interact and talk to one another, and, you know, eventually that becomes normal. And then they ask, oh, is there anything else out there? Let's travel further, let's go farther, and they find more land continents and, you know, group up with people, right? So, now let's zoom all the way into the future and imagine that the Andromedans, which is the only other galaxy I can think of a name for, and, you know, the Milky Wayans, they're meeting in the local star cluster at headquarters. They got all the top science people there, and they're all gathering around saying, like, you know, there's us here in this galaxy. So I'm getting it all wrong, right? Because the Andromeda galaxy is closest to the galaxy. What are galaxies when they're in clusters? What are they called again? I mean, we've got like our solar system, and then our solar system, I believe, extends to the galaxy, and then local galaxies extend to something else, right? I feel like I'm missing a step here. Superclusters? Galaxy group? I don't know. Local group? Galactic neighborhood? You know, it's like, so like, they're all getting together, you know, we're getting together with all the other, okay, let's forget about Andromeda. All the Milky Wayans are gathering together, right, in the center of the Milky Way. We're there, you and I. We're meeting up with all the top science peeps from all the different planets in the different other solar systems. And, you know, we're asking that question, is there life out there somewhere else in the galaxies? Because there's only us lot here in the Milky Way, right? We can't find any signs of life further out there. Okay, so at that point, I've probably terribly articulated myself, but did that get you thinking at all? Are you picking up what I'm putting down, or am I just being a silly goose? That's what I need to know. I think I'm just gonna, I'm gonna chuck a couple of bits of this down. I think these torches are probably interfering with what I'm actually trying to check, but it tends to be just put a few here and there and it's all good. You can actually see that we probably need one more here. There we go. Loving the story. Please continue, says Curls. It is interesting for sure, says Malther. Starflower says this reminded me of the Monty Python song. I was listening to something that got me thinking. It got me thinking that, like, we asked this question about, like, is there more life out there in the galaxy? But there's life here on Earth. And at one point that life would have been separate from one another. So when we didn't know about the galaxies, when we were caveman, when we didn't, you know, fully grasp the scope of everything out there. Because remember, like, our universe, there are some theories that it might be one of many. Multiverse theory, right? So if you've ever heard some of those astronomical, mind-bending numbers that it's difficult to get your head around about how many galaxies and stars and things there are out there, and then that's just one of trillions of universes possibly. Like some of the numbers that get thrown around are pretty crazy with this stuff, but like it all exists on a scale. So imagine that we discover life all over this universe, right? Proof, maybe even a way to communicate. Then the new question is, like, is there life in other universes? And then, so like prior to that, was it once a question that caveman asked? You know, is there life somewhere else? Did they go looking and exploring for life elsewhere when, you know, you didn't know what was over the horizon? Or, like, you didn't look up at the sky and think, oh, there's other planets out there. You didn't even know you were on a planet. Right? You didn't even know you were on a planet. Like, did we think about things like that then? Because it just, I find it fascinating that the sense of scale can dictate our perception of what we're, like, trying to ask. Could have been totally different if you were a caveman. Why wouldn't there be life on other galaxies, was Randy? I don't have the answer for that. I mean, you know, I got a few years under my belt, and I remember being interested in this stuff when I was a kid. And the type of, like, conversation that you could find around this stuff has changed so much. It feels like there's been quite a big shift over the last 10 years or so, where more and more mathematics and discoveries and data come along that just suggest that surely the chances of life are like way bigger than we initially thought. Right, there's more and more clever theories coming along on how to estimate, and it seems like the trend is just it's more and more likely, but we still haven't found the signs of life yet. But it could also be that we don't even know what to look for. Life could exist in many different forms of varieties, and some of that life might be staring us in the face, and some of this other life that's out there may exist on a scale that we are a part of, you know? Like, you have microbes living in your gut that probably never know a world beyond their immediate environment. And to think that our role in the galaxy, you know, if you think like when you zoom out and you see those beautiful pictures of like mass and stars swirling around and interacting with each other, in a picture they're like a freeze frame of time. And if you think of time moving at a different relativity, like not to yourself but to like the scale of those objects that you're looking at, like they could be swirling fast, and that could be something that's part of something entirely incomprehensible that may also be considered life. Like, think on that, you know, like what if we're a microbe in some cosmic being's gut? Just part of a bigger picture. Because when you learn about how astronomical the size of the galaxy is, it does make you think like, dang, sometimes, you know, you open up a computer and you look at the motherboard and you go, look at all those tiny little parts in there, that's amazing. God. Like, what if we're part of that to something bigger? And like when you see the rotation of little, like as they draw it or describe it, you know, the atoms going around. Oh, I should never be a science teacher. In the atom you have like the nuclei and the electrodes spinning around it and all of that, and it's like that's like the sun and the stars. And then galaxies, they all are gravitationally rotating around central points and one another. Like I think at the middle of a lot of galaxies are black holes, right? And that's what they tend to rotate around. I'm sure if we could send probes to more distant planets and look at them in more detail rather than just distant pictures from an orbiting satellite, we would eventually find life, says Audrus. That is probably not the way to do it, because if you send out a probe, like you're taking a small trajectory to try and gather like information, it's going to take it a long time to get to planets where life might be, right? Like that's probably not the way to do it. The way they are doing it is they're able to... Okay, so there's like this visible light that we can see, and then there's light that we can't see, like infrared light, for example. Now, when they look out, please bear in mind, I butcher all of this, okay? Go listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson, not me, if any of this fascinates you. Like when they're looking out with the telescopes and they're getting these images, the images give more information than just what the eye sees, right? And what they are able to do is look at like the information about the light that's coming through and find details in it that allow them to extrapolate more information, like is this like light source moving to us or away from us? I am really struggling to remember the specifics here, and it's annoying me because this stuff's fascinating and I can't quite get it. Maybe someone in in chat can nudge me a little bit. Like, it's something to do with, they call it redshifting, I believe. Anyway, Noctra has jumped straight to the point I was gonna get. Yeah, that is called redshifting. Yeah, redshift because the universe expansion. Right. So like the light source is moving away from us, and then we're actually able to detect the speed at which it moves away from us, and I think therefore you look at the image, you can also calculate what direction it's moving in. But there's other things as well, like if you observe a star and then the light that comes from it dims ever so slightly, we have extraordinary instruments of measurement to do this stuff, right? It dims ever so slightly. That's potentially a sign that a planet just moved in front of that star, and that's a way to learn about you know, are there planets going around this star? And a moment ago I was talking about how it felt like growing up, and over the last 20 years, like the likelihood of there being life out there, the conversation, it seems to continuously increase. More and more people are going, there's more chances of life. These measurements, I think, are probably the reason why. Because, you know, we knew that there are all these stars out there, and we take it for granted now, but there was a period in time where they didn't know if all those other stars had planets around them. So, like, if you didn't know they had planets, well, you need planets for life, is the assumption that we're going to make, right? So then once they learned, oh no, there are planets, then, you know, the odds of there being life goes up, right? As life as we know it. There could be other types of life. So the latest thing that's been happening is that with these measurements of light, they can now look at these planets, and based on the measurement of light and the way, you know, we sense it, it can detect what's going on in the atmosphere. So in a similar way to how a planet moving in front of a sun will change the light as we read it, there are similar ways of measuring what type of contents are in the atmosphere of one of these planets now. So then they can start to look for things like oxygen, which would be a sign of life, right? And so these are why, like, the odds seem to keep going up, is because we seem to keep finding better tools of measurement. But yeah, like, once we discover that there's life out there, it's like the question takes on a new form, is the sort of the point I was saying earlier. Like, once we start to see it everywhere, then, you know, maybe we see it everywhere in this galaxy first, then the question shifts to, like, is there life in other galaxies? And then when that's confirmed, is there life in other universes? I don't know. Moves away equals red shifted, moves to us equals blue shifting, because wavelengths equal colour and moving away stretches the light. Lucaro, that was nicely condensed. And also, like, I've said it a couple of times that, you know, life as we know it. What about life as we don't know it? There might be events that we're actually observing and watching take place that we don't understand is like life or communication. That idea fascinates me. Because we're only going to know how to look for something that's similar to us, right? As a sign of life. It's always exciting to me. I'm always interested in hearing about the latest thing. But I reckon the discovery of life, similar to this, wait, I'm not putting this in the right spot. Similar to this proposal of, like, how the question might change as time goes on. Like, I think the way we'll learn about life out there in the galaxy, I don't think it's going to be like this eureka moment of, like, oh my god, life confirmed. You know, it's not like you're going to be able to tweet them and say, what's up, alien? What's happening over there, man? Like, it's probably going to be like something really, like, I don't know, like minuscule, brief and vague, but, like, we think this is potentially some sort of something happening, and then it'll build up over time. I don't think it's going to be like, you know, we've discovered life and now we're having a chat with some aliens. It would be kind of amazing if maybe we discovered something that was trying to communicate, but I feel like, I don't know. Don't feel like that's the way it's going to unfold. I reckon it'll be like a slow, incremental discovery of something, like, obscure and brief, and we think this might be life, and then eventually we, like, confirm it, but it's not like, you know, right, we're going to go chat with them now. Or anything like that. The Amazing Hazard, thank you for 4 months of support, my dude. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream and having a good time hanging out with us. Peeps, be sure to hit the follow button here on Twitch if you like the stream. I don't know when I'm going to stream next. Maybe Saturday? No, probably not, actually. I don't know. We'll see. Tomorrow's Saturday. I've got to get all my gardening and stuff done, right? And I do want to stream, like, a little more variety, do some other games and stuff, so might not be Hermitcraft next. We'll see. We'll see. Colonel Coffee, thank you ever so much for the Prime, my dude. Appreciate you using that on me. Hope you're enjoying the stream. The Xisumaverse UHC is tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, like, if I happen to stream at the same time, I apologise. I think I'd be doubtful I'll stream this time again tomorrow, but, you know, I don't know how the day's going to unfold or what I feel like doing. Right, so this should sort of meet up with this bit, and then that'd be like the end of the rib. And then that's like one whole rib constructed. I am a rib constructor. And I guess, no, that doesn't get filled in. Those are these two. I also need to throw down these torches. What happened to the Hermitcraft intro music on your videos, says Broomstar. I decided to remove it. I just wanted to try and, like, do something a little different here and there. Why do all these bone blocks all of a sudden feel really weird? I think it's because they got kind of cut off here. And maybe they didn't need to. It does get a bit of a cut off kind of feeling to it. Do you plan to wait for Light Manica to be updated for 1.19 before updating the server? Yeah, we have to wait for the mods to update the server, of course. I mean, every time there's a new update, everyone asks, and it's just like, you know, it'll be done when it's done, right? We don't have plans to not update. Let me tell you that. Okay, it's not like we decided we were going to play on the last update forever or something like that. So, you know, we'll get there eventually. I really want to see an Xisuma podcast, says Slice Benedict. You're listening to it, aren't you? This is, I said it earlier, this is it. Like, I don't think I can do a podcast, but I can do this. This is just me waffling and chatting, which is a podcast, right? I'm gonna just connect this up how I want to. Maybe not quite like that. There we go. Doesn't have to obey the schematic that we got 100%, does it? This is where we get to take a bit of creative license around these bits. And those bits too, I guess. Right. So you can see where all the black blocks will go now. Sort of around this space. Which will look good. So let's put them in. X, you're getting hungry. I better eat some bone meal. Where's my bone meal? I probably went and put it in a chest without even realising it, didn't I? I can't even walk. Run. I can walk, I can't run. Apparently the Mad Lib will be out mid-June. Are we in June? June, July? Yeah, we're in June. So, you know, a week, that's fine. I don't mind waiting. I'm not in a rush. There's so much I want to do in this next one that I kind of, like this update, that I kind of wouldn't mind. Where did I put it? I kind of wouldn't mind a bit more time to be prepared, I guess. Maybe one of these over here. Just, you know, chucked it all in without even thinking about it. Oh well, I'll eat these. I'll find it later. Yeah, I'm a bit miffed as to where I put that. Wait a minute. Oh no, it's not in there. Okay. If you had the chance to go explore the universe, would you do it, and what would you try to find, says Slice Benedictus? That's a great question. That's super fascinating. So, I feel like we obviously have to... say, like... I don't know. We got a spaceship, and it can go wherever we like, you know, time and travel and all that kind of stuff, not an issue, right? And I can survive any environment and see whatever I want. Well, I wouldn't really know what to go look for in terms of maybe there's some like utterly spectacular planets out there that'll just blow your mind if you look to them. But I don't know where those ones are. So I'd probably just, you know, jump around to a bunch of different galaxies. And then you're thinking about how you've seen them through the Hubble telescope. You know, those amazing pictures that we got of galaxies that look absolutely beautiful. They're mesmerizing, all that kind of stuff. But then when you get there, they're going to look different because that's how you're used to seeing them from Earth. So I think it would be a case of just sort of, you know, hopping around to all sorts of random places until something, you know, catches your interest. And then if you were to go to planets, I imagine, you know, the first few you go look at, they're going to be just, wow, alien planet. And then after a while, they're probably, you know, most of them are probably going to be not that interesting and spectacular once you've seen a bunch. And then it's like, where are the, you know, worlds of like, I don't know, crazy magma volcanoes and magma rivers and just wild amounts of energy and stuff? Like, where is all that? You just be trying to hit stuff at random, right? It's not like you got a tourist guide. It's not like, where would you go if you go anywhere on Earth? Well, I know about this place, I know about that place. It would just be pot luck, really, wouldn't it? A planet of fire and ice, yeah. Yeah, planet of fire and ice. That kind of crazy stuff, you know. But, like, it'd just be total hit and miss. Let's say I had a computer or an AI or something that could guide me. Then I'd be asking it, you know, take me to amazing planets and cool stuff. I want to see giant mountains or, you know, rivers of chocolate, because there'll be a Willy Wonka planet. Alright, don't you try and deny it. Somewhere out there in the universe, there's a planet with chocolate rivers, and I'm going to swim in them. So yeah, you wouldn't really like know what to look for, but if you had an AI, then you could ask it those inquisitive questions, things you want to see, it would go show you. That would be super cool. And obviously before long you'd ask it, like, show me where life is. Go check out all that life you've been hearing about. I want to see what these Martians are up to. Well, Martians are from Mars, aren't they? So, you know, that's pretty local. Curry planets. Oh god, a river of curry. Oh. I'm pretty good with not having curry at the moment. That being said, I literally had curry today, but it was homemade curry. Like takeaways and all that. Now that I'm doing my bulk, I am just going to try and eat like more calorie counted stuff. So like no takeaways. I feel like it'd just be too easy to like put too much on, because when I would have my like big eat takeaways or whatever, that would be after a week of cutting, really, and so some of that work just got undone, right? But that way I was able to enjoy a mega meal every now and then without like putting anything on, really. But now that I'm actually bulking and therefore in a caloric surplus, I don't really want to chuck like takeaway curries on top of that. So I'm going to be pretty scarce with the takeaways from now on. I'm kind of looking forward to it because it means I'll basically probably be eating a bit cleaner overall, you know. I'll be having more veggies and fruit and whatnot, and yeah. It's going to be some good eating. There is this one planet NASA found they believe is coated in a layer of diamond. Wow! Wow. I like the economics of asteroids and resources. Like when we get to the stage of being able to mine asteroids for resources and whatnot, Just like some of the most valuable materials could just become so, yeah, totally different because of the abundance of them. However, diamonds are actually not that valuable as I understand it. They're a bit more, they do have their uses here and there, but like the whole sort of glamour of having diamonds or a diamond ring or whatever is a bit of like an industry sell. You know, like they're trying to create an air of class around this product that they want to shift. That's my impression from some of the things I've learned about diamonds. Daced745, thank you for using your Amazon Prime subscription on me, my dude. 8 months right there, greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream. And let's now, yeah, let's bring him in at this level here. Yeah, I prefer to, I guess if they're all going to be at that height, I'd actually prefer to have it all 1 block higher then. Dang, look at this. We've brought it all the way over here. So that's what I was talking about. When you do a rib in the rib cage, it's like this. You bring it down from one side all the way to the other. And we should have a look at the height difference. Yeah, so all of that's got to go. It seems like these bits that are closest to the, like the middle are going to be the easiest bits to fly into as well. This diamond talk is funny in Minecraft context, is Green Mazing. I guess so, yeah. And then here I think we want to go back to there. Let's get these blocks in. Do all of that. Do you want to know how deep this goes, by the way? That's the bottom down there. I might not actually finish this base. I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm not terribly interested in doing a massive grind this season. Yet that's exactly what I've signed myself up for at this point in time. So it'll be a kind of like stream only thing for a while, I guess. And we'll see where we get. It's going to be a long season though, so you know, it doesn't have to be built in a day, as they say. That's not what they say, is it? They say Rome wasn't built in a day. God. Get your quotes right, X. That's not the way that bit works. Right, and then all of that gets filled in, and then all of this stuff up here too. I need a machine soon to make some of the concrete for me. I was making it manually earlier, and then I was just kind of reminded of like, oh yeah, we use redstone for this. It's been really weird. Something about like that short season has just like, it just felt so different from a normal Hermitcraft experience, and then coming into this one, it's like, oh, it's like I've been thrown off course or something. Right, now let's get rid of that. Press this. And get ready for some of these, I guess. Yeah, I wouldn't mind ripping out just a tiny bit more down the bottom here. Just so it's a bit more obvious what we're up to. Yeah, I kind of want to get rid of the torch so we can actually see what's going on. And it seems to be pretty good. Pretty good. I'm going to put one on that bit as well. There we go. Right, so now if we step up here. So this thing started at that height and comes all the way down. Down and around, down to there. So I can clear out a little bit more stone here, can't I? As this is all empty space to fly into at this point. And we can make what's going on over there a little bit more visible. So do you plan to give the skeleton mouldy bones using skulk? I do not. I do not. I'd never thought of that. Right, and there you go. Well, I'm going to dig away some more, actually, so I don't know why I'm saying that. Neil deGrasse Tyson put out a spooky short video recently saying what keeps him up at night is the fact that we don't know what we will be terrified of as human beings in 2100, because whatever we were afraid of back in 1800, we solved. Now we fear climate change, asteroid impacts and other stuff, but what humans of 2100 be afraid of existentially got me thinking. Why is he worried about that? He ain't going to be around then. I mean, yeah, that's just the nature of it, right? You don't know what you don't know, and things will be different in the future and whatnot. We have our challenges cut out for us, that's for sure. That's just the nature of things, though, right? Everything was always a struggle and a challenge, and we kind of live in an amazing time where we've minimized or reduced many of those struggles and challenges. Sure, there's still a lot of them we've got to suss out, but we've come this far. Ooh, there's a little bit over the back there, is there? Well, I'll just put one of those there. Okay, let's do this. Uh-huh. And then I'll put those things in there. And the search for the bone meal will continue. In the meantime, I'll eat this tasty apple. We still haven't solved the problem with human behaviour, says the Lincoln. And what problem is that? I mean, we humans are what we are. I feel like, you know, life itself is like, it's just, as that quote says, one damn thing after another, right? It's all just problems that need solving. It'll never end, but it's gotten better than it once was. I found out something utterly mind-blowing today, which is that there is more man-made material on the planet than there is biomass. And according to the way that they've, you know, thrown those numbers together or whatever, it does sound like they've got a pretty good way of putting together an estimation for it. Humans often lack empathy for people far away. Having for future ones is even harder. Yeah, that's a discussion for another day. But I know what you're on about. It's that whole, they've done studies on it. You know, you show someone a picture of a child who's suffering and they want to help, and you show, you know, and here's their sister, and it's like, oh, it's 2 children now, and then you tell them that, you know, actually the problem is that there's 10,000 children that need your help, and the number's too big, and people tune out at the bigger numbers. It's you know, I think it's easier to frame it as us not having compassion or something, but really it's like about how we struggle with bigger numbers, how we struggle to like make sense of that in our head, make sense of that suffering. And yeah, I guess that scales not only to like numbers of people, but like abstract people who aren't here yet, people in the future. Crazy stuff. It is indeed crazy. Oh, do you know what we haven't done yet? Let's go. Oh, I keep forgetting this. This is amazing. Okay, so I'm going to go... Well, actually, if I stand here, it's probably not going to make any sense. But, I don't know if you'll even see that on the thumbnail, right? Like... Little me standing down the bottom there. That's our thumbnail! We did it! Cool. Cool. Do you know what I can do now? You can look at my face. Ah! God, what an ugly Doomkai. Get him off the screen. Peeps, it is the end of my live stream for today. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and if you have, be sure to hit the follow button here on the Twitch. And stick around if you'd like to be a part of the raid. I want to say a thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. Thank you to all the mods, the patrons, the people gifting the subs. Y'all be appreciate. And I'll be streaming again soon, no doubt. Today we're going to go raid. We're going to riggedy rag the hibbity hypno. And that is now taking place. So I'm going to head out of here. You can hit the raid button. I'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone.